Alright, what's up y'all? This is Z Street 3 here, back in a brand new video. A bit late on this one, not gonna lie. I normally do these on Sunday. The updated top 25 normally drops at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Didn't do it yesterday, pretty busy. And then powered today, took a nap, grocery store. It's now 9 o'clock where I live, so well over a day late on the video, but we were here to recap week 11 of college football. And it was quite the week of upsets. Let's go and get started with my favorite team, number 5, Texas, playing early game at 11. Fortunately, I was at work, so I only got to watch a couple highlights of the game. 35 to nothing at the half. Texas, a statement victory against Florida. Now, Florida was missing their starting quarterback, DJ Lagway. He was injured, and Texas took full advantage of it. They played tremendous. Quinn Ewers had 5 touchdowns, 333 yards. I think at one point it was like Texas had 150 yards, Florida only had 20. So very dominant performance by Texas. They win 49-17. Big win for them coming off the Georgia loss, and then I believe they had a bye week. So I think they took it to heart and played well, and we'll see if they can turn it around at the end of the season because the SEC race is extremely tight right now. Oregon and Maryland. Oregon continues its dominance as the best team in the nation by far. And Gabriel becomes all-time touchdown leader. Pretty impressive. What a story for him, being at UCF, getting hurt. They were undefeated. They claimed themselves national champions. That was really stupid. Back up, he knew that it was going to start, so he left. Went to Oklahoma and transferred to Oregon. And what a smart move there. He's probably ready to win a national championship. Purdue and Ohio State. Now, Purdue has upset Ohio State in the past. Purdue is known to have a horrible season and have that one huge upset, but not this year. It is a shutout, 55-0. Another record broken. Jeremiah Smith and 9th touchdown catch. Pretty impressive. And here is the big upset of the year, and this really just shakes the foundation of the SEC and the race to who is going to be in the conference championship. Ole Miss sadly beats Georgia 16-7 at the half. Carson Beck in his last 5 games has had 7 interceptions, only 2 touchdowns. This game, I believe he had 2 touchdowns? Sorry, 2 interceptions, maybe even 3, and then 2 fumbles. One of which was turnover. The other one offense dropped on it, but Ole Miss Georgia offensive line looked probably one. Honestly, the Georgia offensive line for this game looked even worse than Texas looked when Texas played Georgia. It was absolutely horrid. Ole Miss played tremendous offensively. Obviously, not very good offensively. Jackson Dart only threw it 22 times, only 100, not even 200 yards. He did rush 50 yards though. I know he got hurt last game, but seems to be fine. Maybe just a sprain or something. They stormed the field. Actually, it was funny. They stormed the field prematurely, so they still had 16 seconds left on the court. Sorry, on the clock. So all the fans had to leave the field, and they were all on the sidelines. The sidelines were completely full with fans, and they kept rushing, and it was really cool. Georgia, a huge loss for them. And they got what to do. Carson Beck is struggling, so see if Georgia can pull it together because they got a tough game next week that we'll cover. And then another big upset, Miami, no longer undefeated against Georgia Tech. It's their first loss of the season. And that shakes up the ACC now because now it's SMU is alone undefeated in the ACC at least. Penn State beats Washington. It's just a disappointing year at 5-5 after the loss of Penix and head coach DeBoer, who went to Alabama. Penn State, again, when they're not playing Ohio State, they're really good. 35-6, bounce back game for them. Tennessee and Mississippi State, 33-14. Look at this guy. He only threw it 13 times. pretty impressive, only throwing it 13 times. But they control their own destiny now. Michigan at Indiana, 2015. Indiana has a very, very bad game, and they still win. They're now 10-0 for the first time in program history. And they got a big game coming up for them as well. BYU and Utah. There was at one point where it had Utah favored to win the game. And now they have they're like 96% chance to win the game. BYU goes down and gets a 40-yard field goal as time expires. Game over. 22-21. BYU by the hair on their chin once again, still undefeated in the Big 12 against Utah, who's now 1-5 and has had an unbelievably disappointing season. Florida State and Notre Dame, no shock there. Notre Dame absolutely demolishes the worst team in college football, which is Florida State, 52-3. And I think Florida State has fired its OC, like DC and wide receiver coach, but not the head coach. But I think he'll probably go as well. Alabama goes into Death Valley at night and blows out LSU 42-13. It wasn't even really close. Like it started off really, really bad. Jalen Milroe had himself a game. He had, let's look at the game cast here. Unbelievable stat. Only 109 passing yards, but 185 yards rushing, only 12 carries, including 4 rushing touchdowns. I mean, look at this. Look at this right here. Just unbelievable. This kid is amazing. The thing about Milroe, I like the answer to this. I really agree with it. If Milroe can get in a groove early, and the offense starts flowing, and he's running and he's passing, they can beat anybody. But if they don't get started early, start having struggles, and he's making incompletions and making interceptions, then you've got a chance against Alabama. So all falls on can Milroe get into the groove, and if not, you can beat him. Well, he State in Nevada, pretty close, 28-21. Alshon Gentry, 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's his 5th game this season with at least 200 yards and crazy. Iowa State drops another game to Kansas. They are falling off the horse rather quickly. They lose 36-45. Put up 16 points in the 4th quarter, but it was not enough. They still end up losing. Pittsburgh also drops another game. They lose to Virginia, 19-24. Colorado beats Texas Tech. You can see in that first half it was close. Texas Tech was up 13-10, and then Colorado goes on a 31-14 rampage in the second half. They win 41-21. Actually, I believe it was Shiloh Sanders had an altercation with a Texas Tech ball boy and shoved him for something. I didn't really know the full story about it, but it's one of those controversies. And of course, it's Colorado, so any little thing is gonna get blown out of the water because people love to hate them. Another game, Washington State now in the top 25, as we know, 8-1, a very, very impressive year for them after the dissolution of Pac-12. They're having a great year. They beat Utah State 49-28. What else we got? Clemson and Virginia Tech 24-14. One-handed, incredible interception right there. I thought the game would have been closer, to be real with you. Oklahoma and Missouri. Now, Oklahoma was up here. Missouri. This is insane. Okay, here's what happened. Absolutely insane. Oklahoma was up. Okay. And the game was essentially over. Like, they had beaten Missouri. And you see right here. A fumble, scoop, and score. In the, last few seconds of the 4th quarter. Missouri flips it the switch. They win 30-23. It was unbelievable. Like, I remember I wasn't watching it, but I had it on my phone. And a couple seconds left, Oklahoma has the ball, or gets the ball back from Missouri because Missouri didn't complete a 4th down or something. Like, oh, damn, it's game over, Oklahoma won. And then I look back again, and it says 30-23. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Fumble, scoop and score. Missouri wins. A heartbreaker for Oklahoma. And a tough, tough year for them. Army stays undefeated against North Texas. Still undefeated, 14-3. Let's go ahead and check how the rankings. Now the rankings have changed significantly. So let's go ahead and look at that. Oregon's still at 1, Ohio State at 2. So Ohio State lost to a team right above them in their top 2 teams. Texas back in the top 3. Penn State back in the top 4. So 3 of the top 4 teams in the country are Big Ten teams, and then right behind them is Indiana. So 4 of the top 5 teams are Big Ten. Tennessee is at 6. BYU is at 7. Notre Dame is at 8 for its own reason. Alabama back in the top 10 at 9 after that blowout win against LSU, as well as Ole Miss that jumped 6 points to 10. So if you look at the top 10, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Big Ten teams. SEC has 1, 2, 3, 4. So both conferences have 4 teams in the top 10, and they are far and away the best conferences in the nation. Georgia falls 9 spots at that deflating loss out of the top 10 at 11. Miami drops 8 from 4 to 12 after just 1 loss. But again, they haven't played anyone at all. Boise State drops 1 as well, despite winning at 13. That's because 2 powerhouses dropped down. SMU also drops down to number 14. Texas stays at 15. Army is now up to 16. Clemson up at 17. Colorado is now in the top 20. At 18, Washington moving ever so slightly. At 19, Kansas State. 20, LSU drops 7 points to 21. Louisville back in the top 25 at 22. And we have 3 new teams that were not ranked previously. South Carolina at 6-3. I'm telling you, South Carolina is a very impressive team. That quarterback Seller is going to be a Heisman favorite in a couple of years, and they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Like, don't be shocked if they compete in the SEC in the next 2 years. Missouri still ranked, or back in the rankings after not being ranked. Is this the AP? Yeah. After not being ranked, they're back in at 7-2 and 25. And Tulane now in the rankings like they were in the beginning of the year at 8-2. Dropping is Iowa State, Pittsburgh, and Vanderbilt. Just outside is Iowa State, Arizona State, Pittsburgh, Louisville, Louisiana. I'm assuming that's Louisiana Raging Cajuns and UNLV. But yeah, let's go ahead and go stats real quick. Cam Ward still at number 1. Jackson Dart, look how close that is. It's about 90 yards difference between the two of them. Jeffrey now 400 yards ahead of number 2. And Caleb Johnson loses his second spot to RJ Harvey. Let's see. Millen loses his spot to Nick Nash. But now let's go into, not standings. Actually, let's go into the schedule first. Sorry, scores. Week 12, Texas and Arkansas, the old rivalry renewed. Arkansas hates Texas because Texas beat them in the national championship many years ago. And when they used to be in the old conference, Southeastern Conference, sorry, they used to be in some sort of conference together with like Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, A&M. Texas used to smash them all the time. So Arkansas hates Texas. And it has finally been renewed. Texas will travel to Fayetteville, Arkansas. I spent some time in Arkansas, many, many years of my life in Arkansas. So a lot of friends from childhood that hate Texas. It's going to be a great game. I personally think that Texas will blow them out and silence that crowd, but you never know. Ohio State, Notre Dame should be a blowout. Clemson at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just hanging on that top 25. If they lose this game, they are out. Top 25. Both teams, I think, are out. Whoever loses is out. Utah and Colorado. Should be a win for Colorado. Looking pretty good. They could win the Big 12 and make the playoffs. That would be really incredible. Mercer is 9-1. However, they're going to be playing Alabama, so it probably won't be pretty. Penn State and Purdue should be a blowout. Virginia and Notre Dame should be a blowout. Boston College and SMU. Boston College, now funny enough, in my college football video game, new NCAA Football 25, they actually were top 4 and went to the playoffs, surprisingly. SMU, 5-0 in the SEC, the best team in the ACC by far. trying to continue that dominance. LSU and Florida. LSU coming off that big loss. They are now 3-2. And 2-3 on the year. They're playing Florida. We'll see if DJ Lagway plays. If he plays, Florida could win because it's at the Swamp, but you never know. Louisville and Stanford. Louisville back in the top 25. I think they're a bit overrated. Missouri and South Carolina. This could be a close game. I'm gonna take South Carolina to win this game, like straight up. It's in SC as well. Like South Carolina should have beat Alabama, straight up. Boise State number 12 at San Jose State. Not a bad year for San Jose State. They're 6-3, but they're playing Boise State. Arizona State and Kansas State. Arizona 7-2, not in the top 25. They've had a great year. I think they make a statement here and beat Kansas State at their place. Oregon and Wisconsin should be a blowout. Tennessee and Georgia. This is the big game, big game. Because look at this, both teams. Sorry, Tennessee is 5-1, and Georgia is 5-2. If Georgia loses this game, they are out. Not only out of the SEC race, but they are out of the college football playoff, guaranteed. There's no way they get in as a 3-loss team. However, if they beat Tennessee, there's now I think a 7-way tie or a 5-way tie for second place in the SEC, and they might still have a chance of making the conference championship as well as the playoffs. So this is a must-win. Definitely must-win for Georgia, but also a must-win for Tennessee, I believe. But either way, this is a huge implication game right here. A&M playing New Mexico State should be about Cincinnati playing Iowa State. You never know. I don't think Iowa State's very good. I think they're a bit overrated. Washington State at New Mexico, and then Kansas at BYU. So, with that being said, let's go to the standings real quick. Show you why this is extremely important. So let's go to the SEC. We've got Tennessee, A&M, and Longhorns, all with one loss in conference. A&M and the Longhorns will play at the end of the year. Texas has a okay. I think they play Arkansas, Kentucky, and A&M. So A&M will be their last team at top 25. So if Texas wins, they're in. If either of these teams, like I suspect A&M and Texas to win out, and then when they play each other, they'll obviously will win. I think Texas will win against A&M, and then that means they're guaranteed a spot in the SEC championship, and the Aggies drops down to 2. Tennessee also at 5-1. So let's do this. Let's say Tennessee loses to Georgia, A&M loses to Texas. That means Tennessee is 2 losses. Let's say everyone wins out. Let's see. Actually, let's go to Georgia. Let's go their schedule. Wait, it's right here. They play Tennessee, Massachusetts, and Georgia Tech. That should be easy. Let's go to Tennessee. Tennessee plays Georgia, and that's it. Let's go to Alabama. Okay. And they beat Alabama. Alabama doesn't really play anybody. They play Oklahoma and Auburn. Never know with the Auburn game because it's still Auburn, but never know. A&M plays Auburn and Texas. LSU is Florida, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. They should win all those games. Keyword should. Missouri plays Mississippi State and Arkansas and South Carolina. I think they lose South Carolina. South Carolina's 4-3. They play Clemson. So let's go to standings real quick. Go back. SEC. All right. So let's say, as I predict, South Carolina beats Missouri. So that means that Missouri is at 3 losses. They're out. Let's say Georgia beats Tennessee. Tennessee, 2 losses. Again, Texas beats A&M. Texas A&M, 2 losses. Georgia, 2 losses. Ole Miss, 2 losses. Who does Ole Miss play? Who do they play? Florida and Mississippi State. That's easy. Should be. Keyword. Keyword easy. Never know. It's the SEC, and they really never know. Hello. Okay, let's go. Tennessee, 2 losses. A&M, 2 losses. Georgia, 2 losses. Ole Miss, 2 losses. Alabama, 2 losses. LSU, 2 losses. So who wins tiebreaker? So Texas is in. A&M and Texas game. Whoever wins that game is in. They both are going to defeat. So For better purposes, let's say Texas wins and they're in. All right. So let's put it out this way. Let's go to Word. Let's go to Word real quick. Let's pull up a Word document. All right. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't worry about any of that. All right, so let's pull this up. Let's do side by side. All right. That's a anyways. All right. So we have Tennessee, 2 losses. A&M, 2. Tennessee, A and M. So Tennessee beat Bama, loss to Georgia and Arkansas. Okay. A&M beat LSU, lost to Texas, and who did A&M lose to? South Carolina. Lost South Carolina. And SC, okay? UGA beat Texas, lost to Bama, and Ole Miss. Beat Texas and Tennessee. Texas and 10. Okay. Bama lost to 10. And who else did they lose to? Am I tripping? They beat Bama. Vanderbilt. I still can't believe they lost to Vanderbilt. Let's do the wins first. Beat LSU and Georgia. Lost to 10. And Vandy. Like that Vandy loss is unreal. Like that, the Vandy loss is what makes it so confusing. Because let's say that fluke game doesn't happen. Alabama's only 1 loss. They still lost Tennessee. They went out, and then it's Texas and Alabama. Everything's so much easier unless Tennessee wins. Unless Tennessee beat Georgia, then they get going because they had the tiebreaker. But because they had that really lost, it's really, really crazy. Okay, let's go to LSU. So again, Missouri lost, so they're out. Even if they win the SEC, they're still not going to be in. Don't worry about LSU. Who'd they beat? Who'd they beat? Let's see, they beat Ole Miss. Oh, beat Ole Miss. To Bama and okay. Now need Ole Miss, don't we? Ole Miss beat Georgia. Let's go look. Beat Georgia. So they had a pretty easy schedule. I mean, Georgia's really only and they lost to LSU. Only win is Georgia. Lost to LSU and Kentucky. Now let's try to make sense of this. These are the teams that I project will be 2 losses. So Tennessee beats Bama. Okay. So 10 and Bama, right? And then beat LSU. Bama beat LSU. So A&M, right? LSU, but LSU beat Ole Miss, so LSU. Ole Miss. Georgia. Who did Georgia beat? Beat Texas and Tennessee. So they won the tie. Oh my god, dude. I don't get it. It makes no sense. Because Georgia beat Tennessee. So that means they're above 10. Georgia, Tennessee. I don't get it. Who goes in? Because UGA lost to two teams that are in this two-loss category, right? So they can't be in. Tennessee lost to one team in this category and beat Bama. Bama has beat two teams in this category. A&M has only beaten LSU, so I think A&M's out if they lose to Texas, right? Ole Miss beat Georgia, only loses to LSU. I don't. Oh God, how are they gonna figure out who goes in? That's insane. I don't know what's gonna. I don't know, man. I just think if Tennessee wins, it's so much easier. It's Texas and Tennessee. Or if A&M beats Texas, it's so much easier. And Tennessee wins, it's so much easier. It's A&M and Tennessee, which would be freaking crazy. But you can see how crazy this is. The best conference in football by far, and it's so top heavy. So many good teams. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like this for many years to come, with all these great teams just going left and right, beating each other, and who knows who's gonna win. Just they should have players. They should have a playoff in HCC. Like maybe the top four teams get in. Maybe a little miniature bracket. I don't know, dude. It's insane. But yeah, that's it for this week. What a crazy week. And the race is tight, tight, tight. It's 12 team playoff, and it's even more tight than it's ever been before. Like, what the heck's going on? That's why I love college football. Way better than NFL. But yeah, that being said, that's the end of it. I've done enough rambling. Can't wait for next week. Huge implications. Leave a like if you enjoy the video. Subscribe for more content. Sorry that's late. As always, this is Z3 signing out. Stay frosty.